Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm your host, Veteran Mountain Man, and it's another Spiritual Thursday. And I know I haven't done one of these in a while. I actually got asked the other day if I was going to continue doing the Spiritual Thursday aspect, and indeed I am. I just have not had time to do a Thursday day video. I normally shoot the day before, and I've had a lot of trouble dealing with excessive work on Wednesday and then coming home, shooting a video, and having it ready to upload by Thursday morning. But I did get the extra time today, so I'm going to go ahead and do one. Today's topic is actually going to be the false identification of progressives as paganistic. And one of the problems with this is that it actually paints anybody who practices a paganistic form of religion as a progressive nutball and a member of the Democrat Party. Now, many of you, since you're watching this video, will actually understand that most pagans, in fact, don't actually fall into the progressive stack, because paganism is neither socialism nor in any real fashion is it an undefining love of global warming theory or anything of that nature. Yes, we do respect the earth. We do respect all life. But that is actually a much more extreme pro-life stance than many Christians actually take. I mean, I actually say prayers for the spirits of animals I harvest when hunting. And most Christians actually believe that animals were put here to serve man, and therefore they don't have to worry about the pain or comfort level, or even the fact that the animal is alive and therefore part of all of the living creation. Now, many pagans are also deist or creationist theory or divinely inspired theory when it comes to the formation of the world. That doesn't necessarily mean that they deny science. There are many Christians who actually take a very similar perspective, in that there was divine inspiration in the creation of man and in the creation of all living life on the planet, and even possibly in creation of the universe, because, the best scientific explanation we have is that nothing exploded. And, that just doesn't really happen, because nothing does nothing. Nothing doesn't explode. If nothing exploded, life wouldn't exist on this planet, because there's a large amount of nothing in space. And if it was constantly exploding, the Earth would have been destroyed by now. So, that theory doesn't completely hold logical water. And because it doesn't, it means that something had to happen to cause the Big Bang. Now, how science interprets it versus somebody who has a divine inspiration or a creationist myth theory, those definitely differ in a lot of cases. But that doesn't mean that a person who supports the divine creation theory has to be Christian or Jewish. There are many pagans who actually believe the same thing. So the idea that Christians and modern pagans or neo-pagans or neo-shamans or anything of that nature are so far devoid that the left has them all is actually a bit fallacious. And part of the reason I'm doing this is because actually I subscribe to what used to be CRTV and is now the Blaze TV. I still have the subscription for a few months. I'm trying to decide if I want to continue my subscription or not, because Michelle Malkin is gone, and yes, I enjoy Steven Crowder and Mark Levin, but they seem to be doing less content than they used to. And also Gavin McInnes is gone, and I supported him quite a bit as well. And so at this point, I'm having trouble justifying the expense, even as a veteran, for maintaining the contract service. Now, I might try to find a way to support Steven Crowder in other ways, as well as Mark Levin, including buying merchandise and or books. But I'm also subscribed to the Daily Wire. And the Daily Wire has been doing this more than CRTV or the Blaze TV, in that they have outright several instances said this. Ben Shapiro and Michael Knowles both have. And I'm not telling you to boycott their work. They do great work, but there are some times when they're wrong. Even, Lars Larson and Rush Limbaugh and many of the others do on occasion get things wrong. And we as pagan conservatives need to actually stand up when they do this, say, hey, wait a minute, please don't broad brush this issue. It's actually important to some conservatives. It's similar to the log cabin conservative issues, which are actually the gay conservatives in the Republican Party. They're called log cabin conservatives. And many of them take an abhorrent stance upon the ideas of the gay rights movement, in that they don't want to be this, ideological front group, and they hold far more conservative views than most of the LGBTQ, whatever in the heck they're calling it now, community. Well, there are those of us in the pagan community that are the same way. And what's really funny is I've been meeting more pagan conservative veterans. It appears that a lot fewer of them have PTSD issues, actually, which is really bizarre. I wonder if it's because we take a more realistic look on life and death. And while pagans do have discernible moral differences from Christians, that doesn't mean that our moral differences are innately part of the Democrat moral stance. I'm actually avidly anti-abortionist. I feel that there are some very extreme circumstances where I might possibly be able to understand and justify the right to have an abortion in those cases, mostly dealing with incest, gross deformity, and by gross deformity, we're talking, the child's back is splayed open or their head's not going to close or something of that nature. Atopic pregnancies, and even in some cases of rape. I can understand the need to have abortion available in those situations, but those are by far not the normal when it comes to abortions and abortion clinics, which is why I'm primarily pro-life. Now, that doesn't make me any different in my stance than a lot of other Christian conservatives in that stance. It's just I come about it from a different perspective. And in fact, great philosophers such as Locke, Aquinas, Socrates, and even some of the biblical philosophers do speak to me when I read them. It doesn't mean that I am ignorant of Christianity or Judaism. It means that I have chosen not to follow that path. And that doesn't make me any different than you when it comes to my political beliefs. So for those of you who are conservatives that would like to help support the pagan conservatives, thank you very much. Please, help us come out of the broom closet, so to speak, so that we can actually stand shoulder to shoulder with you and be seen as part of the combined effort to help keep America America. Well, thank you very much. Or, whatever country you happen to be living in, keep it free. Because I know that I do get some viewers from other countries. Well, I want to thank you very much. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to check out unapologeticpagan.com, where I do this show specifically for. And as always, have yourself a beautiful Thursday.